I am back for my second concoction of the night because I have ran out of my whipped shea butter / pomade. I used to do a pomade, but this time I'm going to do a whip. And the last time I had a whipped shea butter, I used it for skin and hair, and I really enjoyed it. So the first thing that I usually do, I use this African shea butter, and I'm going to use the rest of it. And I don't melt it in the microwave. I kind of melt it in a double boiler so you can get the real effects that you need, because sometimes there's too much heat being applied, but when you use a double boiler, the heat is consistent throughout when they melt it. So this is a double boiler right here. You have one pot at the bottom, and then you have the top part that you sit inside of it, and the heat rises from right here and it melts it slowly. But the other homemade way that you can do is you can just do 2 pots, and I'm going to show you here. You can have a large part and a small pot at the bottom. You fill it up with water. Don't let it touch the bottom. Fill the bottom pot with water, and then put your butter inside that you're going to melt, and just let it melt over the stove. So that's the same thing. Okay. So let me get. I had the stove heating, so I'm going to put the double boiler inside. You can see the double boiler that I'm using. And I'm going to take my shea butter and I'm going to put the rest of it in there to melt. I'm just going to, and like I said, I'm using all of it. Butter is slowly melting. It's been about 10 minutes, probably about another 5 minutes, but it's just an even amount of heat being distributed throughout the butter, which will be better for your product. Okay, so it is done melting. So I am going to take it out and I'm going to pour it into this steel container. Get a little spatula, make sure I get it all out. While the shea butter is melted is when you add your carrier oils, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm adding castor oil to this because I'm using it for skin and hair, the whipped butter. And the castor oil, everybody knows castor oil is good for regeneration of thinning hair, thinning edges, and just revitalizing your hair. So a little bit goes a long way with the castor oil. So I'm just going to add maybe half a teaspoon of castor oil, or 1 teaspoon, not half a teaspoon, do 1 teaspoon. But castor oil, I'm going to add that to them. I'm also going to add coconut oil, and coconut oil has wonderful penetrating abilities in your skin and your hair. It penetrates your hair cuticles, and it moisturizes your hair, and it also penetrates your skin and moisturizes your skin. So it's wonderful for hair and skin. Here I put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Actually, I apologize. I need to melt my coconut oil, which I'm about to do now in my double boiler since it's already there. The other oil I'm going to add is, of course, olive oil. And I'm just going to do 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So quick, it took no more than like 2 minutes. So I'm going to put the 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in my mixture. Mix it a little bit. And I'm going to put it in the freezer. Now, this is a process to make sure you have nice whipped butter. I'm going to put it in the freezer, which I will show you, of where it's starting to solidify. Then you take it out, you mix it. I'm going to put it in my freezer. Okay, so I just took it out the freezer, and this is how it is. So it's not frozen, but it's a little solidified, and I have this, and I just mix it up. Let me pull it down some. Okay, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit like this. And let it sit. So now I am going to use a mixer. I have a large 5-quart bowl mixer because I used to make a lot and just give to friends and stuff. So you put it inside the mixer, and yes, I did sanitize this down with alcohol. So I do on a low speed to get when I start whipping a little bit. I'm going to add is rosemary. Rosemary is wonderful for hair. You heard me talk about it on several videos. I'm going to do, since I have a half a cup, 2 tablespoons, I have enough to do about 30 drops of essential oil for this entire mixture. So I'm going to do 10 drops of rosemary oil. Okay. And then tea tree oil, antifungal, antiviral, wonderful for your hair and wonderful for the skin. Because remember, this is hair and skin concoction. Videos, I use the vitamin E capsules. And I have scissors that I sanitize with alcohol. And I just cut a little small slit and I put it inside there. And this is just a natural preservative for your product. And it also has a lot of antioxidants. So it's also good as well as an ingredient in your products. Okay, now I'm about to add the vegetable glycerin in there because it's more whipped than white. And I already told you the benefits of the vegetable glycerin. We're only going to do half a teaspoon. Do not use a lot of vegetable glycerin. That's another one. A lot goes a long way. Okay? So I have, I'm probably going to just feel like the middle of this fork right here of this spoon. And add it into my mixture. Alright, the final mixture is all whipped together. And you know if you did it whipped, if you leave it out overnight and whatever, and it doesn't harden, then it was whipped. So you did a pretty good mixture. What I use a opaque container. You can use, you know, amber glass or like just an opaque container that you can't see through because it keeps it fresh and it keeps it from getting too rancid because you don't want no light or anything to get to it. So these are 4-ounce jars. It doesn't matter. It's just for me and my son anyway. And I just, you know, put the mixture in there. And that's it. That's my whipped shea butter for hair and skin. I literally use it for my hair. And I use it as my moisturizer every day like you would use for a lotion. It has wonderful properties. You can go to my website at uniquenaturalessence.com or my Facebook page, and I have different facts about castor oil that I use, the olive oil, the different types of essential oils if you want to know the benefits for skin and hair again. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.